Have you ever wondered why those aiming for riches often find themselves poorer than when they began? It's a common human desire to dream of wealth without breaking a sweat, leading some to take foolish shortcuts in the quest for easy money. Yet this relentless pursuit of flashy fortunes can often backfire, leaving people worse off than they started. But don't you worry, we're here to save you time and trouble. We've compiled a list of 28 dumb ways you could lose it all by trying to get rich to help you avoid these costly blunders. 28. Expecting high returns from cheap property. When we think of investing money, our initial inclination often leads us towards the acquisition of real estate, whether it be in the form of land or a residential property, with the intention of generating rental income. And even though the idea is practical and safe, a single mistake of drooling at the cheap price of a property can land one in huge trouble. Bravin David, the co-founder of Spark Rental, learned this the hard way. When he was new in the real estate market, a mistake that he often made was investing in super low-end properties and chasing super high returns. Explaining why investors usually make this mistake, he says this is because the typical numbers that investors use to forecast income and expenses miss many of the risks. And investors see cap rates of 14% in a bad neighborhood compared to 7% in a good neighborhood, and thinks they'll earn twice the return without having to invest nearly as much money per property. However, it is nothing but a trap. Investors enticed by impressive cap rates in bad neighborhoods may not anticipate the ongoing challenges of dealing with crime, vandalism, rent defaults, evictions, property damage, break-ins, and frequent tenant turnover. 27. Implementing advice from stock trading seminars. Think of the stock market as a place to grow your money, but don't be fooled by fancy promises. Feeding off the popularity of the stock market, some companies try to make you believe they have a secret formula to make you rich quickly through expensive seminars. They're like tricky tour guides in a maze. The hard truth is that no one can predict how stocks will behave, so it's safer to spread your money around and be patient. Listen to the experts at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. If someone pressures you with too good to be true claims, it's time to steer clear and stay on the sensible path. 26. Stock picks for quick riches. Who doesn't dream of striking it rich as Apple, Microsoft, or Amazon investors did? But here's the twist. Diving headfirst into any hot stock without careful consideration can be like gambling your money away. Now, meet John Vlachogiannis, the brain behind Agent Risk, a fancy wealth management tool. When asked about his views on people picking any hot stock, he said, "Machine learning algorithms create better portfolios and manage them more efficiently because they don't try to predict, they just remove all our prejudices. Even the best algorithms can't predict the future, and they analyze billions of data. Why do individual investors think they can?" So here's the million-dollar question. Why do we regular folks think we can outsmart the stock market when the sharpest machines can? Now, the conclusion is that instead of chasing overnight wealth with risky bets, consider the S&P 500, a bunch of stable companies where many smart investors park their cash. Sure, it won't make you a millionaire tomorrow, but it's like planting a money tree that grows over time. 25. High-frequency trading in penny stocks. Ever heard of penny stocks? According to the SEC, they're those shares that trade for less than $5 each. Sounds harmless, right? I mean, what could go wrong with buying super cheap stocks? Well, the truth is, quite a bit, especially if you're chasing quick riches. See, these penny stocks are like the Wild West of the stock market. They're not like your big-name companies with tons of buyers and sellers. Nope, they often have very few takers. Plus, the companies behind these cheap shares are often new and untested. Here's where it gets risky. Some sneaky investors try to boost the price of these stocks to lure in naive and unsuspecting investors at higher prices. Once the trap is set, they sell all their shares and make a quick exit, leaving the latecomers holding the bag. Sure, the low price tag might be tempting, but be warned. If you pour too much cash into these volatile stocks, you could be risking it all. 24. Starting a business for fast returns. If you're seeking a path to get rich overnight, you must have thought of starting your own business. But if you're willing to learn from others' mistakes, here's a piece of advice from Morgan Taylor, a finance expert at Let Me Bank. Most people don't understand what goes in that business, she said. It's a lot of work, and in the end, patience is going to be your virtue. Nothing is going to make you rich today, but it might make you rich in 10 years if you do your research, know your stuff, and have a little patience. By that, she means most folks underestimate the sheer effort required to run a business successfully. It's no cakewalk, and impatience can be your worst enemy. So if you're hoping for an instant ticket to wealth but have zero to no patience, think again before investing your money in a bunch of supplies and equipment and renting a place. 23. Betting away your fortune. The online gambling trap. Thanks to easy internet access, gambling is now easier than ever. Just enter your credit card number, place your bet, and hope for that big win. While most people are quick to realize the promises made are just for the sake of advertisement and are hoaxes, some people do fall for them and lose significant amounts of money. 22. Buying a timeshare as an investment. Timeshare, though advertised as a golden opportunity, often doesn't deliver as promised. Salespeople may present them as both a wise investment and a way to save on vacations. The truth is, it's not that easy. To understand it better, consider this. If you spend $20,000 on a timeshare instead of investing it, you miss out on the potential $32,578 you could have accrued over a decade with a 5% annual compound interest rate. Adding to the disappointment, you'll be burdened with ongoing maintenance costs for the timeshare, and finding a buyer, even at a loss, can prove challenging if you decide to sell it later on. So before committing to a timeshare, weigh the financial consequences carefully. Jumping on an IPO. If you're dreaming of striking it rich by jumping on the IPO bandwagon, hold your horses, because not all that glitter turns into gold. IPOs can be a roller coaster ride. Some companies soar at first, only to crash later. Just look at Lyft, Uber, Slack, and Smile Club Direct. They all stumbled right out of the gate. It means that even though the IPO allure may be irresistible, it's essential to recognize the potential pitfalls lurking beneath the glittering surface. 20. Betting on cryptocurrency to get rich quick. Betting on cryptocurrencies may seem like a thrilling shortcut to the world of wealth, but it's important to keep in mind that everything you see on the internet is not always true. The world of cryptocurrencies is not for the faint-hearted. While the promise of quick gains may be exciting, the volatile nature of the crypto market means that prices can plummet as swiftly as they soar. So take the advice. If you're not ready to handle the stomach-churning price swings that have left many investors reeling, stay away from putting all your money in crypto. According to recent data, the cryptocurrency market has experienced dramatic crashes, with some coins losing over 90% of their value in a matter of weeks. So before you jump in head first, ask yourself, is crypto a ticket to wealth or a slippery slope to financial ruin? 19. Investing in a business fad. Trends in business can be as fleeting as fashion fads. Jumping into a business solely because it's in vogue might seem like a quick path to riches, but it can be a dumb way to drain your resources. Pratibha Vupuluri, the driving force behind the She Started It resource guide for working moms, warns us against this trap. She emphasizes that while trendy businesses may yield profits temporarily, they can nosedive once the trend wanes. Take, for example, the surge of meal assembly businesses that graced countless strip malls a little over a decade ago. Most of them met their demise when the consumer appetite for meal assembly faded into obscurity. The lesson here is clear. Longevity and success in business require more than just riding the latest trend wave. 18. Buying get-rich-quick information from an infomercial. Late-night channel surfing often exposes you to relentless infomercials peddling dreams of effortless wealth, showing you a fantasy world. They promise that just dialing a toll-free number and buying their secret system will lead you to riches. However, the truth is that wealth isn't for sale on TV screens. The Federal Trade Commission tirelessly battles these scams, but they resurface like weeds. For example, take a look at Wade Cook, a financial expert jailed for fraudulent schemes. However, he returned to the same business after his release, illustrating the enduring appeal of get-rich-quick schemes despite legal consequences. 17. Investing in a crowdfunded startup. Investors eagerly seeking the next big thing usually find the allure of crowdfunding platforms irresistible. And that's because these platforms offer a treasure trove of promising startups, brimming with potential. Yet this digital landscape is a double-edged sword. Behind the enticing online facades lies pitfalls. Not all startups are what they seem, and disappointingly, many crowdfunding platforms lack rigorous vetting processes. Unfortunately, the only people who get rich quickly from these are those who perpetrated the fraud. It is a well-known fact that some of the supposed startups have taken in thousands or even millions of dollars from hopeful investors before shutting down and taking the money with them. 16. Flipping houses. The abundance of home improvement programs on television showcases a deceptively rosy picture of a house flipping, feeding fuel to the fire of your dreams of becoming a millionaire overnight. However, this venture is not as easy as it's shown, and many of its dark sides are kept hidden from the public eye. It has the potential to erode your fortunes rather than enhance them. Falling into common pitfalls such as overpaying for the property, overspending on renovations, or misreading the market can lead to financial disaster. If by any chance you are considering doing this, keep in mind that the small screen likes to show only what people like, success stories, and usually conceals the blunders that can happen because of not having proper knowledge of this business. 15. Being dazzled by celebrity endorsements. Who doesn't want to become like their favorite celebrity? Taking advantage of the trust that their fans have in them, many celebrities often endorse companies, implying that they hold a secret to wealth. However, it's crucial to recognize that these well-known figures are either financially incentivized to make such assertions or may themselves have vested interest in potential gains. For instance, in 2019, the Federal Trade Commission intervened with a restraining order against a company leveraging endorsements from HGTV stars. This company enticed individuals with the promise of a free real estate seminar, which ultimately turned out to be a high-priced pitch for further classes, offering rudimentary advice while pushing attendees to invest in more expensive sessions. 14. Selling stocks when the price tanks. The stock market can resemble a wild roller coaster ride, with stock prices soaring to peaks before a sudden descent. In such tumultuous moments, panic can be a natural response. Yet, rather than succumbing to fear and selling, it's often wiser to wait until the market has gained its stability. During market downturns, there lies an opportunity for savvy investors to seize bargains. When stocks are trading at lower prices, it's akin to a shopping spree for astute buyers. While it may not promise rapid wealth when the market eventually rebounds, this strategy can yield substantial profits over time. So instead of hastily jumping ship when the market dips, consider navigating the twists and turns with a long-term perspective in mind. 13. Investing without doing your homework. People who have gotten rich know that it is usually a slow process and demands your efforts as well. While all investments carry inherent risks, conducting thorough research before diving in significantly improves your odds of reaping profits. Joseph Polakovich, the owner and CEO of Castle West Finance, underscores the pivotal role of timing in investments. According to him, a lot of investing is timing and having an idea of when to get in and when to get out. Even a great investment idea can backfire if the timing is off. 12. Putting your faith in financial books and gurus. Amazon hosts a plethora of books, promising to unveil the secret way to becoming a millionaire. And the fun fact is that some of these books are even graced with the prestigious New York Times bestseller status and authored by self-proclaimed financial wizards. But is it even logical to expect that reading a book can be the sole path to affluence? 11. Investing money with telemarketers. Telemarketers often aim to sell you various products like insurance or extended car warranties. Some may even present a tantalizing chance to achieve quick riches through a supposedly foolproof investment, such as precious metals. However, it's foolish to place trust in a stranger over the phone to guide your financial decisions, as they typically follow scripted pitches. Falling victim to their persuasion can lead to overpaying for a lackluster investment, much like those who are ensnared by a precious metals investment scheme. The Federal Trade Commission intervened after this scheme defrauded individuals of $5 million. So, remember to be alert when answering calls from such marketers and approach investment opportunities with due diligence. 10. Investing in your artwork. You must have come across headlines highlighting art auctions where masterpieces by luminaries like Van Gogh or Picasso command millions. However, the less glamorous truth remains concealed. If you look it up, there are numerous instances where art investors suffer substantial losses. Contrary to the notion of quick riches, art investing is a protracted journey, fraught with potential financial pitfalls for the uninitiated. The art market is unpredictable. At the worst time, the value of the greatest art piece can be reduced to zero. So you're taking an even bigger risk if you buy works by lesser-known artists, hoping for a big jump in value. 9. Taking a job that requires you to recruit. We all have those annoying Facebook friends who try to recruit us into selling products like makeup, essential oils, or slimming wraps, promising quick riches. However, these often turn out to be pyramid schemes, relying on recruitment below you. In these schemes, only those at the top benefit significantly, while the rest struggle. The Federal Trade Commission warns that while not all multi-level marketing companies are pyramid schemes, they are challenging to profit from. A 2018 AARP Foundation survey found that 73% of network marketing participants either lost money or made none. So be cautious when considering such opportunities presented by enthusiastic friends. 8. Invention patent scams. Shark Tank is a golden opportunity. If you got a brilliant invention, it might become your ticket to riches. But what happens if you don't get a chance to present your idea there? You might get attracted to enticing TV ads from invention assistance companies that catch your eye. However, beware when they dangle free invention kits for evaluations. The United States Patent and Trademark Office advises caution, as these companies often aim to persuade you into spending hundreds or even thousands on patent searches and market research, with no assurance of your product's success. 7. Looking for the next Broadway hit. Hamilton demonstrated how Broadway productions can amass fervent fan bases and substantial wealth. While joining a play is possible even when you don't have Lin-Manuel Miranda's talent, it involves significant financial jeopardy. Investment ranges from $5,000 to $10,000 or even $100,000. A hit show could lead to quick riches, but failure results in permanent loss. Predicting audience preferences in theater is uncertain, making it a risky venture. 6. Investing in diamonds. Who doesn't like those absurdly expensive shiny stones? While they may seem like a sound investment, quick riches aren't in the cards. Factors like size, color, cut, and clarity create a wide pricing range, requiring expertise to make a wise purchase. Diamonds have appreciated over the years, offering no swift profits. But without careful consideration, you may end up with stones worth less than your investment. 5. Falling for get-rich-quick ads on Facebook. You're seeking ways to amass wealth and a Facebook ad appears, offering a seemingly flawless solution. However, these ads can be deceptive. Some promise to teach you how to run Facebook ads effectively, luring you with visions of starting your own agency or website. They encourage significant spending on Facebook ads, even if you lack the qualifications to manage them effectively, resulting in potential financial losses. This resembles the old envelope stuffing scheme, where you paid for a guide on selling others the idea of envelope stuffing. 4. Investing in a racehorse. Many are aware that betting on horse races is like a gamble, but a unique approach exists within the horse racing realm: purchasing shares in a racehorse. A victorious racehorse can generate earnings for investors, especially if it becomes a successful stallion. However, the inherent uncertainty lies in not knowing whether the horse will prove fast enough to win. Additionally, the horse's career may be curtailed by illness or injury, potentially preventing investors from realizing their full returns. This investment path carries significant unpredictability. 3. Vanity publishing in search of a bestseller. If you believe your manuscript is the next bestseller, beware of vanity and subsidy publishers. Instead of paying you for your hard work, these companies ask for money to cover editing, publishing, and marketing expenses. They often present this as an investment with promises of substantial earnings, but the reality is that self-published books rarely achieve commercial success. Traditional publishers absorb the financial risk, while vanity and subsidy publishers shift it to the author. While there are no guarantees of profitability with a traditional publisher, you won't risk losing money up front. Choose wisely to protect your financial interests in the publishing world. 2. Investing in something new with too many unknowns. To achieve quick wealth, one must spot emerging trends. While substantial gains are possible with shrewd choices, neglecting warning signs can lead to colossal failures. An example is the CBD oil boom, driven by health claims lacking solid scientific backing. The FDA might intervene if these claims become too disease-specific. 1. Listening to bad advice. If someone you know claims to have a surefire way to achieve quick wealth, exercise caution. Financial advisor Polakovich emphasizes the importance of asking probing questions when faced with such proposals, even if it means feeling momentarily uncomfortable. He suggests employing the principle of trust but verify, which involves verifying the legitimacy of any investment opportunity to avoid potential financial losses.